I'm 78 years old. If there's one piece of life advice I could give you, one thing I wish I'd understood before it's too late, it's about a single habit. A quiet, innocent-looking habit that, over decades, silently eroded my happiness. This isn't just old man advice, it's a warning. A warning about a mistake in life that so many of us make, a mistake that quietly destroyed my happiness for nearly 60 years. It's a habit that looks like strength, like ambition, like success, but it's a thief. It steals joy, connection, and the very essence of a well-lived life. Stay with me, because understanding this could change everything for you, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. Let me take you back. When I was a young man, full of fire and dreams, my motto was, "What's next?" The moment I graduated, I was already thinking about my first job. The day I got that job, I was planning my first promotion. I bought my first small house, and before the paint was even dry, I was scanning listings for a bigger one. I thought this was the secret to success, the engine of personal growth. I was always chasing the next milestone, the next achievement, the next goal on the horizon. My friends called me driven. My family called me ambitious. I called it living. I was wrong. I was practicing the art of destination addiction. I was addicted to the idea that true happiness was waiting for me at the next stop, the next accomplishment, the next what's next. This habit became one of my biggest life regrets. It followed me through my entire career. In my 30s, while my colleagues celebrated a successful project, I was already stressing about the next quarter's targets. This advice for your 30s is crucial. Learn to be present. I missed the laughter, the shared sense of accomplishment, because my mind was already in the future. I was there, but I wasn't really there. My wife would plan a beautiful vacation, and while she was soaking in the sun, I'd be mentally rehearsing a presentation for when we got back. I was physically on a beach, but my mind was in a boardroom 1,000 miles away. This habit isn't just a small quirk. It's a form of self-sabotage. By my 40s, the cracks started to show. My kids were growing up. They'd bring home drawings from school, their faces beaming with pride. I'd glance at them, say, "That's great, champ," and my eyes would drift back to my work emails. I saw their childhood through a blurry lens of preoccupation. Here's my advice for your 40s. Your family, your children, they are not interruptions from your important work. They are the important work. I missed school plays, soccer games, and countless bedtime stories because I was chasing a future that was always just out of reach. Each time I chose what's next over what's now, a tiny piece of connection frayed. I didn't notice it then, but looking back, I can see the tapestry of my family life slowly unraveling because of my constant absence, even when I was physically present. Then came my 50s. This is a decade of profound self-reflection for many. And it was for me too, though perhaps not in the way I'd hoped. My career was at its peak. I had the big house, the nice car, the title I'd always wanted. I had reached the destination. But when I arrived, I found it empty. The joy I had promised myself, the deep sense of fulfillment I thought would be waiting for me, it wasn't there. My wife and I had grown distant. My children were adults with their own lives, and I felt like a stranger to them. My advice for your 50s is this. Don't wait until you reach the summit to realize the view wasn't worth the climb you made alone. The happiness habits you build are far more important than the accolades you collect. Chasing the future relentlessly is not a happiness habit. It's a happiness trap. Life after 60, especially after I retired, hit me like a ton of bricks. The what's next that had driven me for so long was gone. There were no more promotions to chase, no more quarterly targets to hit. I was left with now, and I had no idea how to live in it. The silence was deafening. It was filled with the ghosts of missed moments, of conversations I didn't have, of laughter I didn't share. This is the life wisdom I want to impart. The future you so desperately chasing will one day become your past. And what will it be filled with? A series of destinations you briefly visited, or a rich journey you truly experienced? Aging and happiness are not at odds. In fact, age can bring a profound sense of peace, but only if you've learned to live in the present along the way. It was my granddaughter who finally broke the spell. She was 5 years old, and we were sitting in the garden. She handed me a dandelion. Instead of just taking it, I looked at her, really looked at her. At her bright, curious eyes, the smudge of dirt on her nose. She said, "Grandpa, look. It's a wishing flower." In that moment, something shifted. The relentless churn of my mind stopped. I wasn't thinking about yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's anxieties. I was just there, in the garden, with my granddaughter and a dandelion. It was the most present I had felt in 60 years, and it was beautiful. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated happiness. That small moment started a revolution in my life. I began to practice being present. It felt awkward at first, like learning a new language. When I drank my morning coffee, I tried to actually taste the coffee, to feel the warmth of the mug. When my wife spoke to me, I put down my newspaper and listened, not just to her words, but to the emotion behind them. This senior wisdom is simple. True happiness is found in the small, ordinary moments you've been rushing past. The emotional storytelling of your life isn't in the chapter titles of your achievements. It's in the paragraphs between them, the details, the pauses, the connections. This journey of personal growth in my later years has been the most important of my life. I've had to unlearn a lifetime of bad habits. I've had to forgive myself for the mistakes in life, for the time I can't get back. It's a process, but I'm learning that my life regrets don't have to define my present. The habit of always looking ahead, of destination addiction, is a subtle poison. It promises a future reward that it never delivers, all while robbing you of the only thing you truly have. This very moment, it's a lesson I learned the hard way, a piece of old man advice born from a lifetime of quiet desperation. So, I'm sharing this with you. I don't want you to wake up at 78, surrounded by the ghosts of moments you let slip away. Don't let your ambition become a cage. It's a powerful engine, but you must be the one steering, not the other way around. My life advice, my deepest life lesson, is to find the balance. Chase your dreams, yes. Build a better future, absolutely. But do not sacrifice the present for a future that is never guaranteed. The habit that quietly destroyed my happiness was living for tomorrow. The habit that is slowly rebuilding it is learning to live for today. It's never too late to start. Your life is happening right now. Please, don't miss it. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more life wisdom. I'll see you in the next one.